The format of the 1992 Cricket World Cup was that in a 9-team tournament, the top 4 would go through to the semi-finals. With 3 matches left to go, New Zealand were guaranteed a spot at the top of the ladder. They had won 7 from 7 matches, and whether they won or lost in their final match against Pakistan, they were guaranteed first place. Pakistan, in 5th spot on the ladder, knew that a loss would have meant elimination from the World Cup, as the winner of Australia and the West Indies, the final match of the round-robin format, was set to finish ahead of them. The West Indies were 4th and would have finished 4th if they were to beat Australia in their final match. Australia were in 6th but could have let both the West Indies and Pakistan if they had won, and if New Zealand beat Pakistan. In the third last match, New Zealand were up against Pakistan. Australia and the West Indies were due to meet in Melbourne later that day. Pakistan's equation was simple. They had to win. But for New Zealand, winning and knocking Pakistan out of the tournament would create a tougher path for them to win the World Cup. Due to a pre-arranged deal, since the tournament opener between New Zealand and Australia was played in New Zealand, if a semi-final clash between the two teams happened, it would mean that, despite New Zealand finishing first and being undefeated, they would have to go to Sydney to play Australia, who would have only won 4 of their 8 matches. In an interview with ESPN Cricinfo in 2015, Martin Crowe said, "We felt a little bit off by that because we had won every game and Australia hadn't, but we were going to be penalised. As it turned out, we lost the game to Pakistan, so Australia got knocked out and we ended up going to Auckland, as we'd wanted to." So in effect, Pakistan's win over New Zealand meant Australia could not qualify for the finals, as Pakistan moved to 9 points and Australia was on 6 with a match to play. The West Indies still had a chance to overtake Pakistan, but they lost to Australia in their final match, meaning Pakistan qualified for the finals and were to play against New Zealand in Auckland, a place considered a fortress to the New Zealanders. Crowe goes on to say, "We found Pakistan, obviously, as our opponent, but we were very confident. Even though we'd lost to them, we were playing a different game because we weren't really wanting to win." Can you believe it? Crowe doesn't ever state New Zealand lost on purpose. However, he makes it clear that they thought it was best for them to stay in New Zealand if they could. In the match against Pakistan leading into the finals, New Zealand made 166 off 48.2 overs, easily their worst performance of the tournament. Pakistan reached the total with 7 wickets and 33 balls to spare. It would prove to be a comfortable win for the men in green. New Zealand had hardly taken the game seriously. They used 9 bowlers. Only Martin Crowe and their wicketkeeper Ian Smith didn't bowl. Ken Rutherford bowled his only 2 overs of the tournament, and even Mark Greatbatch, who had never before or after bowled a ball in a one-day cricket match, was given an over. The loss for New Zealand got them their desired result. Instead of a chance of Australia winning and jumping Pakistan and the West Indies, which would have happened if New Zealand had beaten Pakistan, they had secured a home semi-final in a place they felt unbeatable. History tells us the plan, if that's what it was, backfired. Inzamam al-Haq, who hadn't passed 50 once in the tournament, would go on to play the innings of his short career, making 60 off 37 balls to help Pakistan chase down New Zealand's score of 7 for 262 and knock the Kiwis out of the first semi-final. So the question is it ever okay to lose on purpose? Although Crowe doesn't say New Zealand did that here, when you add up everything, it looks as though New Zealand were happy not to win their final match before the finals. Or do teams have a responsibility to give 100% every single time, whether or not a loss suits them in the long term? Please let us know by posting your comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos from Cricket Buffet.